we have a $1 trillion defense industry, but also all the foreign aid essentially that goes to Ukraine's other thing is really to buy weapons. The United States is the industrial policy of the United States today, I think it needs to be changed radically, but is a massive arms industry. This is why the weapons industry kind of controls Capitol Hill. It's even worse in China. China's economy really is on a war footing. It's one of the reasons that they haven't been able to shift to a consumer spending. The consumers are smart enough to know that they need to save because the CCP lies to them and there may not be money there for their retirement. They've already cut their families down to one kid, one child. They don't have big families like the Chinese used to, that they don't trust the CCP. There's no social safety net. So one of the reasons they haven't been able to shift from a production economy or export economy to a consumer is that the Lao Beijing doesn't trust them. And and the Lao Beijing's pretty smart not to trust them because they're not trustworthy. They've never lived up to any obligation of the Lao Beijing. In addition, look at China's budget on defense, I think it's $350 billion this year. This is from a standing start of under 50. Now, and that's keeping a lot of people in high value added jobs employed in China. But they're doing it. Their house is a financial disaster. But they're still doing this because they know arms and weapons employ people, whereas other industries are shutting down. They also know employees in high jobs, plus they want the weapons. So I think if you look throughout the world, I would love to be able to tell people that we've got our hands on the weapons industry. We don't. The weapons industry is out of control. Right now, you're in these kinetic wars. Look, my theory of the case, and I think I'm right on this, if we lose the election in South Korea, and I cannot emphasize to your audience how big a deal that is, we will literally give over to the CCP what Americans and Koreans paid in blood back 75 years ago to keep free. And we will turn it back over to the CCP. Once that happens, given the financial problems that Japan has and the demographic problems Japan has and the economic problems Japan has, which kind of leads to their financial problem, who are kind of paralyzed right now a little bit, the CCP are doing rehearsals on Taiwan, not exercises. They've left exercises a long time ago. They're actually rehearsing an invasion in front of our eyes every day. Yes. So I think the kinetic part of this in Ukraine, in Kursk, it's worse than it's ever been. Or I shouldn't say it's worse than ever. It's very bad. And why? Because she went to Moscow and spent 3 days with Putin, of which they were doing the military parades and all the activities, all the dinners, and they signed 35 documents. They came closer together, not wider apart. That's why since she left, Putin's been very difficult to deal with in Ukraine. He's been of no help in Persia on the Iranian nuclear situation. And they've gotten more active than ever, I think, in the Middle East, particularly with the Houthis. And they're trying to take down South Korea without bullets, but at the ballot box, and then I think launch very quickly thereafter an assault on Taiwan and feel that the United States will not defend them.
Yes.
So we're in a this next 100 days from now to Labor Day is, I think, the most critical time in either of President Trump's two presidencies. Like I said, we will honor the 10th anniversary of coming down the golden escalator on June 15th, Father's Day. If you look at the 10 years, I say it's all a preamble to what happens over the next couple of 100 days. Because right now, the convergence of these crises is pretty obvious. And how President Trump handles these, how he comes up with solutions for them, will basically start to set his legacy.